What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another Avengers video. So a couple days ago I did a Marvel's Avengers video talking about the top 5 problems that the game needs to change, and it got a pretty decent amount of feedback. But the more that I play this game, I realize that it has a lot of problems, and I always find myself torn between really enjoying the experience, and I love going out and just killing things with superheroes, and I'm having a lot of fun playing the game. But when you take a step back and you look at this game compared to other video games, I mean, this one has a lot of problems. It makes me really question just what were they doing with this game? This game has been in development for quite some time now, and if this is the final product, it kind of has me scared going forward for the future. But I do hope this game does a complete 180 and ends up fixing a lot of the problems. So in this video, I'm going to go over 5 more things that I think that this game needs to change, and I think that these would just be some really good quality of life changes, and I think a lot of the community would enjoy these changes as well. So to start off this list, I have getting downed when you're playing solo. So when you play multiplayer, if you play with friends or if you just play with random people online, you can get downed as many times as you want. There's no penalty. You can get downed 50 times. As long as there's somebody there, they can revive you. The only way that you can lose a multiplayer is if everybody goes down at the same time. But when you're playing single player, if you get down 3 times, then you have to restart and you have to reload the latest checkpoint. This can be just the most annoying thing ever. Because when you're playing solo, sometimes your AI teammates just don't work. And sometimes they just bug out and they don't fight pretty much at all. I think if you're playing solo, and as long as the other AI teammates are alive, they should have the chance to revive you. I don't know why they put a cap on how many times you could get down playing solo, but they didn't for multiplayer. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know what the logic is behind that. It's so frustrating to get down just once or twice, and then later on in the mission you get down to 3rd time, and then you have to restart, and then you have to sit through all those loading screens for pretty much no reason. I don't know what the purpose of it is. It just doesn't make any sense. So in a way, they kind of punish solo players, and sometimes I've had it glitch out where my AI teammates just decide not to revive me at all. I've had other glitches where if I just die once, the whole mission fails instead of 3 times. This whole getting downed while playing solo just needs changed. When you get down in solo, I think it just needs to work the same way in multiplayer, and then that would take a lot of frustrations away from a lot of people. And then next up on this list, I have projectiles. This is one of the biggest things that I've seen people complain about on the subreddit and stuff, and honestly, they're not wrong. Projectiles in this game are so unbelievably annoying. Now, normally projectiles aren't a problem. Like, if you're standing in front of somebody and they're launching a rocket at you or something, it gives you enough time to dodge. But the problem with this game is that so many of the bad guys use ranged attacks like rocket launchers, laser beams, grenades. All the turrets have different rockets and lasers. I mean, there's like a million different things off screen that are all shooting you at the same time, and there's no way that you can dodge all of it. You're just constantly getting hit by rocket after rocket after rocket. And sometimes the animation of you getting knocked down, like let's say you're Iron Man and you're in the sky and you get hit by a rocket, you'll fall clear to the ground, and before you can even stand back up, you're already getting hit by another projectile. So I don't really know how the developers can fix this, but oh man, is it a problem. It just sucks when you have like 50 different people all shooting you with ranged attacks at the same time, and there's nothing you can physically do about it. Not to mention that sometimes the projectiles don't even pop up as a warning on your screen. Sometimes you just get hit by them and you didn't even know that they were coming. So they definitely need to tone down the projectiles in some way, shape, or form. And I think if they do that, it would just make the experience a lot better for everybody. Now up next, this one is actually pretty simple, and you wouldn't think that a AAA $60 game would even have this problem. This is extremely basic, but coming in at number 3 on my list is replaying the campaign. This game does not allow you to replay the campaign. The only way that you'd be able to do it is if you just wiped everything and started fresh. And who wants to do that? Sometimes people just want to go back and play the story mode again. Maybe they want to see some Easter eggs that they didn't see the first time. They want to pay more attention to details. Maybe they just want to go through and relive the story, relive the boss fights. Well, for whatever reason, they do not give you that option in this game. It doesn't make any sense. Most AAA games nowadays have a New Game Plus mode. This game definitely does not have that, and it would make a lot of sense to have a New Game Plus in this game, considering a lot of the late game content is just replaying the same missions over and 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 over. I don't understand why you can't replay the campaign over again. So that is definitely something that they need to change going forward. And then coming in at number 2, this is just something that I personally would like to see added to the game, and it's more combo moves. So this game is all about teamwork. It's all about the Avengers. It's all about having squads of 4 and you're all working together to complete whatever objective. And they do have some team takedowns in this game. If you hit the takedown button on like a dreadnought or something, your teammate can come along and also hit the takedown button and you guys will perform a double execution together. It does a crap ton of damage. It more than likely will kill whatever target you're doing this to, and it just looks really cool. But I think that they need to add more just in-game combo moves. Just in-game fighting mechanics that you can pull off at any time. There's a lot of different things that they did in the movies that I would love to see brought to this game. For example, I would like to see Thor hit Cap's shield and it just send off this huge shockwave and it could just damage tons of enemies in the area.
Copy that.
Looks like they're lining up.
Well, they're excited.
Or maybe Tony could shoot his lasers at Cap's shield and he could reflect it back into somebody's face. Or maybe Hulk could pick somebody up and throw them at an opponent. Just small things like that. They need more teamwork aspects in this team-based game. I mean, there are endless possibilities for team combo moves. And they don't have to make it so you can just spam them. That would be a bit broken if you just kept smashing Thor's hammer against a shield over and over and over. They could make it so if maybe both heroes have all of their ultimates, or maybe if both heroes have their intrinsic ability overcharged or something, maybe they could both then activate the ability if they're standing beside each other. Make these heroic combo moves cost something, that way it just can't be spammed. But yeah, like I said, I would love to see this. I was talking about this with some of my friends about how it would be cool to see this. And overall, I don't think the community would be too upset if they added more combo moves that we could do with one another. I think that would be really cool. And then coming in at number 1, this is a big pet peeve for a lot of people, and that is breaking down high-level gear. So this game has a real loot problem. The loot in this game just doesn't feel like it's needed. It's just unnecessary. You're constantly finding loot, and then one mission later, you already have loot that can replace that cool loot that you just got. So you're constantly breaking down purples and golds, and I mean, legendary gear in this game doesn't feel very legendary until you get to the level cap, and then you can start actually saving up your gear and paying attention to what they do. Until you are at the max level cap of 130 for your gear, gear is just useless. One of my biggest pet peeves is when I break down a purple or a gold and you only get like 3 resources in return. I've had pieces of legendary gear that I've upgraded 10 times. I've probably put in hundreds and hundreds of different resources into that one gold piece of gear, and then you break it down and you get 3 resources in return. That is so stupid. Did they not think of this stuff when it comes to loot? It really makes me wonder with this game, like, what were the developers thinking? Like, this game is based on other looter shooters, but it's almost as if they never even played other looter shooters. Some of the just basic mechanics make no sense to me. Like, if you pump hundreds and hundreds of resources into one piece of gear and break it down, you should at least get some sort of refund for those resources. Even if it's just a small fraction, then that would be fine. But breaking down a fully upgraded level 10 piece of legendary gear and you only get like 3 resources, the same as if it's not upgraded at all, you still only get 3 resources. It just feels really scummy. It doesn't feel rewarding. It's really annoying, especially late game. Once you hit the power level of 130 and all the armor starts dropping at 130, it starts to get really grindy and really tedious to upgrade your gear. I've had to grind for like 2 hours straight just to upgrade my one piece of gear one time, because upgrading the gear takes like hundreds of resources per upgrade and you have to upgrade them 10 times. It just gets really, really tedious. So they definitely need to change how they break down the high level gear, in my opinion. But that is going to do it for this video, guys. I think I'm pretty reasonable with this list. If you guys enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to check out another video and hit that bell for notifications. If you guys didn't see my first top 5 things I need to change, then I highly recommend you check it out as well. And that is going to do it for me, everyone, and I will talk to you all in the next video.